Hey! Got there in the end. Took me extra 20 seconds, but finally got to the right screen. Good evening, everyone. Yet we go. The stream's now gone live on YouTube. You can see my face. You can see my face. Hello, everyone. It's been quite a while, quite a few days since my last stream. Kept up the daily content, kind of. Failed on the third day. Typical me. But I'm hoping I can continue from now on. No more little days off, although it was understandable. I mixed up Manuel Pellegrino, or Mauricio Pellegrino. Simple mistake to make if you're an idiot. I qualify by that. But this is a bit of a special stream. I will eventually be giving away £100 because I'm awful at FPL. But not only that, someone that's really good at FPL is actually sitting in a call with me, ready to just talk FPL with me. And that is, of course, one of the best, if not the best content creator in terms of FPL is on YouTube, Mr. JNO, aka Mr. FPL Today.
Oh, hello. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for that really good intro. I wasn't expecting to be bigged up that much.
You deserve it. You deserve it. You have the best content, personally. But yeah, welcome JNO, welcome everyone. I've sort of completely forgotten the fact that I was doing the giveaway, and I haven't prepared anything for it. So I think we might have to do FPL for a bit before I actually do it. So yeah, there's FPL Today in the chat.
Sorry,
well
Thomas McCarthy is like, who is JNO? Cheers, Thomas. Thanks.
Oh, how dare he? How dare he? But yeah, whilst I plan that, get your questions in. Not only can you ask questions to me, you can ask questions to the wonderful JNO. And all I'm going to say is the power of JNO. I think I maxed out on 15 people watching on my last stream. I've now got 23. So you're bringing in people for me. You're bringing in people.
You know, the power of JNO.
The power of JNO. Let's remix that song. But remember to get your questions in. Ask us anything. Ask JNO anything. Ask him why is he on my channel. His answer would probably be nothing better to do than help some wash up. I don't know. There we go. You got hearts.
You keep selling yourself short. I remember 2 years ago when I started, I looked up to you. So I just like to role reverse.
And then once you finish the pre-season on about 10,000 subscribers, I'll look up to you. They're saying that I'm predicting astronomical growth for you.
It is going well so far. It's going very well so far.
Last season you slayed it in terms of subscribers. This season you're probably going to slay it again.
That's the goal. That's the aim.
I've seen it so far.
I manage daily content. That's probably what helps me.
Daily content. On the third day. You brand it. You got. And leave my third day out of it. Hold on. I'm sure I'm not the only person that got Pellegrini and Pellegrino mixed up.
No, there was one in your comments that also thought the same thing.
I was so embarrassed. It's such a stupid mistake as well. It's not as if it's I looked into it. It's generally they had exactly the same names. They're twins. I literally saw Pella and thought, oh, Mauricio or Manuel Pellegrini, ex-Man City manager. Didn't look into it. Anything else? That's the only manager I've never looked into when they've joined the Premier League.
You just thought, I know everything about him already.
Exactly. But we have a few questions now. Michael AC89 says Bertrand, Trippier or Lindelof. And what are your thoughts? I'll pass it to you, Jen, as you're the guest. What are your thoughts on those three?
I mean, don't get me wrong. You probably want coverage in definitely at least two of those teams, Southampton and Man United, purely because of the way their fixture list starts. But Cedric, just at 0.5 million cheaper, probably is just as good as Bertrand. And you need that money for elsewhere with the forwards and the premium price players being so expensive. Lindelof, again, you're going for him because he's cheaper than the other defenders that you think are going to start. It would be Trippier if I had to get rid of one there, and I'll probably have both Cedric and Lindelof. But out of those three options, definitely Lindelof.
Yeah, I think I am debating Lindelof. He's been in and out of my team so many times in these things. I made a few changes earlier. I've now got rid of Sanchez again. I think Lindelof he's currently out of my team, which is fantastic. But I don't have Bertrand because I feel like Cedric's a bit cheaper, and they're both going to play. So I went for them. But Trippier, I think, should be a certainty in most teams. Looking at it, with Walker gone 5.5, you look at the fact that he played just under 568 minutes last season, 5 assists.
If you want to be a bit different though, Ben Davies may get the points as well. I think Danny Rose may not be starting the season.
Yeah, I think Danny Rose is injured, so I think Davies could be a good little alternative.
Because everyone's looking at Trippier, so you might be able to get a bit of a differential there with Davies.
It is. To be honest, I hadn't really thought about that. I knew Rose was injured, but I didn't really give Ben Davies a shout, which is poor of me. Worth getting Spurs players, or I should say Georgie 1471. There we go, got there. Worth Spurs players, or wait as they are playing at Wembley. Kane I'm hesitant on because he starts the season slow, and I don't think Wembley will help. Alli I've risked because I feel like I think it could be another season where he blows it away, and I feel like Trippier just because he's such a good option. But I think I've covered it quite a lot recently. I don't know, what are your thoughts on the new stadium with Spurs? How do you think it would affect their FPL sort of potential?
Well, I've spoken about this before, and I think we are all judging Spurs off of how they played at Wembley against Champions League opposition, not your Huddersfields, your Brightons. So I think there was definitely a difference in quality of side they were playing. Don't get me wrong, I'm slightly worried about the fact they've moved to Wembley as well. They've not been allowed to change the size of the pitch, so it could affect them negatively. But I still imagine that Spurs, although they've not made any signings yet, and they've sold one of the best right-backs, I think, in the country, they'd still look a very strong side. I just probably wouldn't risk Harry Kane because of his slow starts and Wembley. But I know a lot of people are considering Kane because, to be honest, I do believe he's worthy of the price he's been given. I do think he should be the most expensive striker and player in the game off of the last 2 seasons. But yeah, I would get Spurs coverage elsewhere.
I'd probably go with that. Kane could start firing. He really could, but for £12.5 million, and it is a massive risk. It could also be, it could happen very well. It could, take to Wembley quite well. I think his international record is quite good, apart from the times where you saw him burn out like in the Euros. But for me, I'm definitely not willing taking the risks. One thing feel like I've specialised on, now I've got rid of the Pellegrini mess up. Dara Smith says best 4.5 million defenders. Now I've covered that, so I'll pass it over to you first of all. Who are you looking at when it comes to cheap defenders?
Oh, I've been caught off guard there. Ooh. I was not ready for that. If I look at my side then quickly, who have I actually got? Because I must have a 4.5 million defender. I've been looking at rotation though, so that kind of affects the 4.5 million defenders I've actually been picking. At the moment, I've got Tompkins and Norton, and I've got Long from Burnley, because apparently Long might be starting, and he's only 4 million. And that's purely the only reason he's gone in, is because a starter at 4 million, when I've only got 100 million to spend, seems like it's too good an opportunity to pass up. But if I go to defenders and 4.5... I mean, I like Bournemouth defenders because they can score points. I think Leicester could be better this season than last, so you've got Danny Simpson. Other than that, there isn't really that many options. I think they've done quite well at pricing defenders that could score quite a few attacking points at 5 million or up, which is disappointing, of course. But
we do love a bargain here at the FPL community. We do love that bargain. Looking at 4.5 and below, I feel like I'd looked at one today because I just did my done deal that eventually went up. I had problems rendering it, but it got up an hour later than I wanted it to. I realised that there could be a really cheap good option with Southampton's good start in their new signing, I believe the pronunciation is right, Bednarek. He's 4.5 million. I consider Yoshida quite a backup player, and he's the second highest valued centre back at Southampton. Bednarek is 4.5. Now, if Bednarek starts, you've got 4.5 in a really good and potentially solid team, which excites me. Another one I think is, as much as it's an iffy sort of place to go, is Bournemouth. I feel like Francis is a good option. I've got him in my team currently, £4.5 million. You consider that they've strengthened in Ake. I feel like Burroch was very sort of mistake happy before. Now they've got Begovic, who is a keeper that, very much like Heaton, will save you things because of his big figure. He's very experienced, and you can think back to the Stoke days where Stoke was such a hard team to play. Begovic was at the heart of all that because of the fact he was such a good keeper. Others, I feel like Danny Simpson's a good one at 4.5 if he keeps his space. I know there's a Leicester, will want to improve, and I feel like he's probably the weakest of the defenders, looking at Fuchs, Maguire now, Morgan and Hoof. Ben Mee at Burnley. Keane's gone. They might need to strengthen with another centre-back, but Ben Mee looks quite good as well. And one that I haven't considered, but a lot of people have considered, is DeAndre Yedlin of Newcastle. Very quick. I think he's selected by over 5% of people. And although it's not one I'm considering, he looks like he could have a decent season, but I've really stayed away from Newcastle because I just genuinely don't know what to expect. They're such a strange team, and I'm worried. I'm really worried. Same way I've stayed away from Dwight Gale. I'm just genuinely unsure of what will happen.
I bet you've got hate about that, because I've been staying away from Dwight Gale, and people don't seem to understand why.
Yep, I know. I have got a little bit of spoiler alert. I have got a budget attackers video coming out tomorrow. I do mention Dwight Gale at the end.
Really? I wasn't expecting that. That's out of the box, isn't it?
It worked. My subscriber notification just worked.
It's nice when you see that as well.
A, I didn't realise it was going to be working, and B, whoever subscribes gets a Nuhiu thumbs up. But Kieran Rogers, thank you for subscribing. Nuhiu gives you a thumbs up. Thomas McCarthy, best defenders under 4.5. I think we just covered that. You are Pellegrino, and JNO is Jesus. Accurate representation there, Dejan.
Don't get started on how I pronounce footballers' names. The one thing I probably shouldn't have done is do a YouTube channel where I have to say footballers' names over and over again.
Well, what a bit of an off-the-cuff thing. What footballers do you struggle with pronouncing?
Well, it all started off with Igalo. I think I've said that right, but I probably haven't. But the first season I did YouTube, FPL, Igalo, of course, came in and scored loads of points, and I had to keep talking about him, and I had to keep getting his name wrong. I have been known to call Olivier Giroud Oliver. Recently, I called Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang Patrick. So, yeah. There's a lot of... If I looked, I could probably make a video that might do rather well of just me saying players' names wrong.
Now, to be honest, it's a good little video, and it shows that you can take the mick out of yourself, which is it's a good trait to have when you've got some people.
Oh, there's plenty of stuff on YouTube where I'm taking the mick out of myself.
Yeah.
Other people as well, to be fair, but yeah.
I think the best thing you've ever done is the dance moves in your video where you're all about the money. You're down the hallway. I've tried to recreate that. Couldn't do it.
That was my dream, was for people to just wake up in the morning and try and wake up like that. I thought that would be really good if the world just started doing that when they woke up. Gets that in viral.
CRO Chelsea, Lascelles for 4.5. Good potential. I'm worried about Newcastle, but I think we sort of covered the cheaper defenders. Diraj, I haven't seen... Well, actually, I haven't seen you in a while, but thank you for tuning in. Man United have so many defensive choices. That is a worry. Big worry for me is when you look at Man United, I'm just going to count the amount of players that, or amount of defenders that have over 5.5, or over 5. I've worried it. I need to sort it in price. That's why. You've got Lindelof, Blind, Darmian, Rojo, Smalling, Bailey, and Valencia. Now, unless Man United play 7 at the back, which is a potential. Oh, there we goes, another one. Marius Gresvik, thank you for subscribing. They're not going to play 7 at the back. So it's a big worry, which is the thing I sort of worry about with Lindelof. But he'll probably end up playing in my team, scoring loads of points, and I won't mention it again because I'll be happy. And that's the best thing. Is Pellegrino the ex-Liverpool defender? Yeah, I found that out in a comment someone wrote, which was proper good. And also, when
I read that comment
about him,
he went into some real detail. Like, I read articles on him because I realised he wasn't the same person, and he was spot on. He was absolutely spot on with all of his details. So I was like, oh, he's obviously put effort into that comment.
Whoa. FPL Nymphria just subscribed.
What? Oh, wait, no. She did this to me. She unsubscribed and subscribed just to see her name pop up.
Oh,
that's how
okay.
she rolls. She needs to see her name pop up in our streams.
I'll let you off then. I was about to flip tables in this stream.
You gave the exact same reaction I did. I was like, what? What do you mean? You're subscribing now.
Oh, thank you for the resub or staying subs. Thank you in general. And I also just realised you've mentioned a comment. Hi guys, quick drop in. Hello. I'm gonna pronounce this name so bad. Sajan Chowdhury. Sajan Chowdhury. I'll leave it as that. Lukaku wasn't all good at pre-season. Say worth pick Lindelof. Lukaku's played one game pre-season, didn't score, and I feel like we're reading too much into that. It can be a bit of sort of getting, they haven't played in a couple of weeks. They're just getting off all the sort of the nervousness and the rustiness off, and I'll get back into full gear. One game I feel like is wrong to judge anyone, the same way as people are jumping on a bandwagon of, let's say, Lacazette scored, or this guy scored, or that guy scored. Salah's another one that you could have. Rooney as well. I feel like you need more games, because those players could then go on to never score again in pre-season. But Lukaku scored a hat-trick in every single game, but we're reading too far into it for that one. So I'm not sort of reading as that as for Lindelof. I'm so torn on it. He'll be in and out of my team constantly.
I'm saying fingers crossed in the chat for Luke Shaw to be left back at 5 million. Fingers crossed for that.
That'll be good. But the way he's been treated, or he's acted, and Mourinho and that have gone on, it doesn't look too good for him. Although I hope so, because 5 million for a Man United defender is cheap as chips. Dara Smith says, so you think we should leave Kane out for the starts? I am saying yes. What? Quick answer. What are you saying?
I'm not saying or committing to anything yet, because this is Harry Kane. So there's every possibility that I sit here and say I'm worried about Wembley, I'm worried about Harry Kane's slow start. The fixtures are okay, but not perfect. And then he goes and scores a ridiculous amount of goals because it's Harry Kane. So, I haven't got him yet, but I'm trying to make my team as where I can transfer him in quite easily, just in case it suddenly turns out that anyone that didn't have Harry Kane in their teams is a bit of an idiot.
That's a fair comment, but I don't think logically. I just sort of think, oh yeah, I'll say that, and realise shouldn't have said that when it comes round. The only thing I've got right, which I really shouldn't have, was my Premier League predictions. And the funniest thing was going through those comments, I have to say, when I got called all sorts of names, more dislikes than likes. I had to create another video to try and disperse the hate, end up basically being right, which was the funniest thing. We got Oops, I've lost the comment. Oh my goodness. The power of JNO.
It's hard to keep up with the comments. It is, trust me.
35 people watching, 3.5 messages a minute. I'm not used to this. D-Raj says, do you think doubling up on players at the start of the season is okay? Which team is worth doubling up on then? Tripling, definitely not, I guess. I don't really look into that. I feel like in certain positions, if you're going for 3 midfielders or attackers from a certain team, that is incredibly ballsy. You've got balls of steel. If you spread it out between, let's say, like one defender or goalkeeper, one midfielder or one attacker, I don't see it too bad. I've done that with Spurs. At the moment, I have Kane, but somehow he's staying in my team. He'll probably end up leaving. I've got Alli midfield, Trippier in defence. It's an interesting one though. I'll pass that over to you. What are your thoughts on it? Because I generally am stumped by that. I didn't really think of anything like that.
At the beginning, I don't generally double or triple up unless I'm very confident in that team being really good at the start, which I'm not confident with any team at the start of the season because I never know how a season's going to go. The 2 seasons ago proved to us that like Chelsea can finish 10th and Leicester can finish first. So who knows how this season will go. Once we have some more data to look at in competitive games, I am quite happy to double or triple up. If you doubled up on Chelsea defenders, there's a period where that would have worked out really well for you. Cheap teams may come in with a good defensive record. West Bromwich Albion have done it before. Their defenders are no longer cheap because they had a season where they came in and West Brom defenders were all 4.5 million and they were getting quite a few clean sheets considering how cheap they were. So if a side shows that kind of form where it's worth doubling up or tripling up, I will go ahead and do it. I'm one of those that at the beginning likes to start off conservative and spread my bets, and then I like to go for it once I've got some data to read off of and try and get as high a ranking as possible.
So if you were going down the bookies with, let's say, 50 quid, you would spread your bets out to try and make sure you get at least something coming back.
Well, I wish I'd spread 20 quid out 2 seasons ago on a £1 bet on each team winning the league, because that would have come in quids in.
Exactly. Hopefully, Burnley can do the trick this season. Who knows?
The bookies don't offer those odds anymore. That's the problem.
I think it was 5,000. I think pretty sure the max is 1,000 now, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
I think there was a point where Hull became 1,500 when it turned out they had like 11 fit players. But that was the
But then they had a decent start to the season, to be fair to them. I know they still went down at the end, but they started off pretty well. They obviously got too many players in and started rotating or something.
Should have kept that 11. Should have thought, we don't need the signings. We don't need the signings. Just kept
this
those 11 players.
Working.
Granted,
if one of them gets injured, we'll play with 10. It's fine.
If a few of them get, suspensions, I guess we're just playing a defending drill for the entire 90 minutes.
Exactly.
Anton Persson says Eriksen or Alli. Now, it's something that I've seen quite a few people, at least in my comment section, I'm reading through comments, and I've been doing well at it recently, keeping up to date with comments. I generally just forget. It's one of the things I need to improve on this season to keep people engaged. But a lot of people are saying Eriksen, a lot of people are saying Alli. I know right after that, CRO Chelsea says Alli. What are your thoughts? I know what my thoughts are. I don't need to mention it. Ali's in my team. I'm quite clearly an Eriksen fan, obviously, but I'm an Alli fan. Just to parrot that was sarcasm. But where do you stand, Eriksen or Alli, if you had to pick one?
Well, right now, it's Dele Alli on my side. It was difficult last year because I had Eriksen, and there were times when Eriksen got the points and Alli didn't, and there were times when I was sitting there thinking, why on earth do I not have Dele Alli like everyone else? From what I've actually read, like articles and some stats wise, strictly speaking, off of underlying stats, Eriksen should get more points, but he doesn't. And I don't think 2 years in a row now, well, 1.5 for Dele Alli, because he didn't start the season before last. He's shown a knack for converting a lot more chances than Christian Eriksen does.
Yeah.
Christian Eriksen's still going to probably be better at assists, but for midfielders, the goals carry more weight than the assists. And Dele Alli will always be in positions where he can get an assist anyway because he's now playing like just behind the striker, almost as a shadow striker. So I'm imagining Dele Alli will do better this year. And they're both the same price, so it's not a matter of price. If Christian Eriksen was cheaper, I might have gone Christian Eriksen. But you can't ignore the fact that someone's had so good a conversion rate as far as his shots on goal going in. That just might be he's better at finishing than Eriksen. So that is why I've got Alli in my team right now. That could easily change, but that is the thinking I'm going with.
Would you ever... I think one thing I saw elsewhere is that Eriksen's on corners, and that could be, the difference maker. But last season, I think they averaged out. I think Dele Alli got a lot more goals, whereas Eriksen got a lot more assists. They sort of balance each other out. Would you ever consider both?
The problem is you've got two Tottenham players in midfield. So if you had Harry Kane, you don't have a Spurs defender. If you've got a Spurs defender, you can't put in Harry Kane. So no would be the answer to that. Unless for some reason maybe Kane's injured for the whole season, then you may look at doubling up on the midfield and having both of them. But that seems quite a bold move unless you think Tottenham are going to win the league by scoring lots of goals. So probably not.
It's fair. I'll probably echo that. I think at some point during the season, if let's say Spurs are conceding more goals, I'll probably get rid of Trippier. Or if Trippier rises up significantly to a 6.5 million defender, I'd cash him out, take the profit, put it elsewhere, get Eriksen, Alli. As long as their prices are good. If they start the season off really well, they're going to rise up into double figures easily. So it could be that sort of thing. Nim3R says, just give them nicknames like I do. I do tend to do that. Whenever I try to do a Football Manager series and go one episode in, I give people nicknames. On my old sort of saves on Football Manager, I'd give them nicknames so I know what I'm talking about. And if someone else walks into the room, not only are they not understanding footballers, I'm saying random words and they think I'm going mental, which is the best part about it. But for videos, I feel like people would get confused and I have to sort of quickly reference it. But I try and learn names. My dream is one day to become a commentator of football, as silly as it sounds. And hopefully my commentary skills will come in handy once I've learnt people's names. Thoughts on the Chelsea midfield debate by Paul Oscar, Fabregas, Willian and Pedro. I'm really not sure. I think am I right in saying Hazard is missing the start of the season?
As far as I'm aware, he's missing the start of the season.
Yes, I think I'm pretty sure unless they sign anyone, Willian and Pedro will be either side of whoever's up front. Will it be Batshuayi? Chelsea said Remy's free to leave. But you've also got the thing of Fabregas. Will he play in the midfield? But then they've signed Bakayoko. But is Bakayoko just going to be the sort of the switching around with European competitions and hopefully going far in the domestic cups? With Kante, to give Kante a bit of a rest, because although Kante's got tremendous stamina, the man has to have a rest at some point. I'm not too sure. I've stayed away from Fabregas for that simple reason. I don't know. Where do you stand? First of all, do you have any of them three in your team, and then why? And then go into your thoughts on them.
Sorry, I missed quite a bit of your input there because I've got my OBS still open and I got a subscriber and it started doing a little speech and missed out. But one, I would like to say, if Chelsea do not get a striker, Batshuayi seems like a very good shout at his price. It doesn't look like Conte doesn't want to play him, purely because the amount of times he got played when Chelsea looked like they were going to start winning the league. So I'm hoping Chelsea don't actually get a striker just to see what happens there. As far as the midfielders go, I just think Pedro has proven at Barcelona, which is a very different team, to be fair, that he can have a season where he can score quite a few goals and get quite a few assists. Willian, while he has had periods in FPL where I can see he's getting points in, I'm not sure he would have is as likely to have the consistency of Pedro. Fabregas definitely could get you the assists, but I've always said goals are more important to midfielders than assists if there's any sort of closeness between the two, like with the Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen argument. If they're close on both, but one's better at assists and one is better at goals is better. If it's massively different, like you bring in someone like Kevin De Bruyne or Dimitri Payet when he actually wanted to play for West Ham, where goals and assists are coming in, then that player is, of course, better than a player that is either here or there on assists or goals. So I would go with Pedro for now, but I'm really hoping Fabregas comes in as an option because he can play further forward. They have got Bakayoko now and Kante, so I don't see why Fabregas, if he did play, would have to do any defending because you pretty much got two workhorses right in front of a very good defence, so everyone else should just be able to attack.
Plus then it opens up the formation of not only playing the sort of 3-4-3, but they'll also play the 3-4-1-2, have maybe Hazard next to whoever's up front, Batshuayi or Morata as it seems to be. One I saw today was Aguero, which is really, really interesting. Another thing I've just looked at is that Fabregas and Willian are 7 million, so if Willian gets the first spot, If they just carry on playing that same formation, 7 million is really cheap for a Chelsea. What is effectively an attacker/striker. But points per minute, Hazard obviously donned 6.2 throughout the season. Pedro then on 4.6 throughout the season. Fabregas on 4.2 in a limited time he played, with Willian on 3.4. Which, to be honest, points per match, I should say. Points per match, yeah, not points per minute. I was going to say 6.2 points per minute for Hazard is what on earth is he doing in them games. But another interesting thing to leave on Chelsea for me is that Morata hasn't really had first-team football in the last couple of years. With Real Madrid, he hasn't really had first-team football. FPL's way of thinking would think he then needs to be priced cheaper, but it's quite clear if he comes in, he's going to be the first-choice striker. So would they stick with maybe an 8.5, 9, 9.5 at a push maybe pricing for Morata, or would they think he's going to be first-team playing, he's going to be in the double figures, even though he hasn't had the last few seasons to prove it? Is something that I'm really intrigued by and really sort of want to know the answer to, which hopefully we'll find out is good, but I can only assume it's going to be FPL pricing him around 12 million just because it's FPL.
It's a Real Madrid guy. It has to be expensive.
Oh, what's that? He's come from a Spanish club? 12 million.
I personally think Lacazette may have been overpriced purely because his goal scoring record is from the French league. And if you look at the French teams, there isn't as many with a good defence there, which is a shame because I actually think Lacazette will do well, but I was hoping he'd come in a bit cheaper.
That is, well, I think, first of all, I agree with that. I think the other thing I saw was that 10 of his goals last season were penalties. So that's another thing to take into consideration. If he doesn't get the penalties this season, let's say if Arsenal only get 5 penalties maximum, that's 5 goals off his goal tally from last season, which makes it less of a good signing. And also I think it's just because he's going to be playing first team football, he's been priced that high. A bit of self-promotion time. Dejan Keko, just Dejan I suppose, I don't know how to pronounce that with the weird indent. JNO, where is the code for your league?
Well, you guys should have been seeing my code in my streams. I'm sure Dejan's been in my streams. Like, I will get my code and put it in the chat.
There you go. There we go. He'll get his code and put it in the chat for you, Dejan, and everyone else. Join in. I think I automatically joined because I was part of last season. I'm not. Yeah, 100%.
I think I'm the same. I will be able to tell you in a second. Yes, I'm in your one this year.
Yeah, I'm in the FPL State League. There we go.
Yes, I changed the name.
I really hesitated. I thought, no, I'm not in it.
The rebranding, I've changed everything. I'm still JNO, but my channel isn't JNO anymore. Just in case anyone was confused.
Andrew Tavi says, who are you going for your premium defenders? Me, personally, I've just gone off the screen. My premium defenders, one of them's David Luiz, because I feel like he's a cheap buy into Chelsea defence. I'm pretty sure he's going to play. If he doesn't, I'll be crying my eyes out. Mustafi at 5.5, I consider premium. It's away into the Arsenal defence. They do have a risky start, so I'm not too sure he will stay. But the last one is Trippier. I feel like once he starts performing, if Tottenham get the clean sheets as well, it'll start really rising up, and I feel like it'd be good choices. Where do you stand on premium defenders? Who have you picked?
I think the problem with at the beginning is premium defenders just take a big chunk out of what you could be spending elsewhere. I don't have a defender right now over 5.5 million. Lindelof is my most expensive defender. If there are cheap options in a side that can get clean sheets, right now I'm very happy to just have those cheap options just so I can balance out and make up for the fact that a lot of the players that I wanted to have are very expensive this year.
Yeah.
Later on, that could very well change. I mean, if you actually look at Alonso's points, considering, for instance, just taking him as an example, he joined late on in the transfer window, and I don't think he started straight off the bat at Chelsea. He had less games to play, and his point score was incredible. He would have been probably the best scoring defender if he'd been there from the very beginning, I believe. So is someone like that worth it? Considering they're 7 million, and you can look at 7 million midfielders and strikers who didn't score as many points as Alonso, premium defenders can be worth it, but I wouldn't start off the season with them.
Yeah, I think one thing to pick up, and I have to say, really do want to give this a shout out. In your Oh, I think I've lost you. You still there? I've lost. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, I'm still here. Just the missus came in, so I muted my microphone.
Oh, okay. One thing I do want to mention is that there is a series on YouTube by quite a well-known YouTuber, quite a lot of subscribers as well, on basically, to describe it quickly, how to FPL. Now, I don't know whether you people have heard of it, but you should have heard of it. It is, I to be honest, am learning things, and I think in the recent video, JNO, I'll give no idea who it was. Basically, JNO does a series, How to FPL, which he gives sort of tips on budget and formations and sort of just going over everything on FPL. And I think it was other days or one of the most recent ones, he went over the... Wait, hold on. Do you mind me saying this, first of all?
Go for it. I don't know what you're going to say. I've literally just joined back into the chat.
Oh, sorry. I'll go over it anyway and risk the backlash.
I'm sure it's all good.
But basically, he went over where the top managers spent their money, and he said the top managers spent less on their goalkeepers and defenders than they did, spent more on their midfielders and attackers. That is something to take in, because I might have 3 premium defenders, which goes against the mould of the top managers. If I were to maybe switch out for cheaper defenders, looking at your Yedlins, your Mees, and leave maybe David Luiz in there as one premium defender, I'd give the money elsewhere, and that'd free up 2 or 3 million. I'd probably upgrade Firmino to a Jesus or something like that, which is something that it gives it good sort of not good balance but good attack going forward. And it's something that again he mentioned about the sort of you've got more chance of points going for your attack than you have defence, because one goal can ruin it, but one goal doesn't ruin your assists or goals. One missed chance, they've still got another one. Goal conceded, it ruins the clean sheet flat out unless they go forward and get other bonus points, goals or assists. But yeah, really interesting. I'd say if you are looking for something to do either during the stream or after the stream, definitely go and check out that series, because it is well worth a watch. Well worth a watch.
Well, I'm hoping after this stream they go into my stream.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, JNO is streaming
then
straight after
stream,
this.
Yeah, then after that stream, then you can check out that series. But just to add something to that, there will be another video coming out about team value. So whilst I'd definitely say watch the video about squad budget and the fact that the top managers spent more money in midfield and attack than the average player, and vice versa, defence and goalkeeper, they spent less, you also do have to take in team value into account, which shows that a player like Alonso is more valuable than sometimes an £8 million midfielder. So it's all ideas to keep in your head as you're picking your players. And whilst sometimes I have got stick for looking at what the best managers do, the best managers are the best managers for a reason. And if you want to be one of the best managers, you need to be looking at what they're doing, taking that and then doing your own thing with that knowledge. And then that will help you become one of the top 1% players, which is hopefully what I stay at for the rest of my FPL time. I'd like a 10k this season, because I just missed out last season. But,
yeah, I know. I think what are you, 10,083?
Yeah, 10,083. The reason I think I missed out is because I used my triple captain in a different way than I was planning, and my plan was to use triple captain on Harry Kane or Alexis Sanchez in the last game week of the season. Ooh. Just because they're the type of players that can score big. And then, of course, what did happen? Yeah. But basically, a guy on Twitter who's part of the FPL community got some bad news, and as a way of supporting him, a lot of people captained Aguero in game week 27. So I did it as well, because at the end of the day, there's more important stuff than FPL. But if that hadn't have happened, I'm pretty confident I'd have been in the top 10k. But never mind, this year I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I think I wasn't on course to get top 10k. I was on course to get a better finish than I did. I think my finish let me down. I think the first, since I changed the count, my first finish in the 13-14 season, when I didn't really take FPL that seriously, 2,633,000 wasn't too good. 14-15, I then destroyed that by 1.2 million and got I think just under 1.5 million, 1,449,885, so 15 below. the 1.5 million. 15-16 is my best season to date with 112,000 in the world. I was on course to get a good score, I think inside the top 50k, which I would have been so pleased with. But obviously, I think if you've been a fan of the channel, things happened, stopped uploading. I think my last video was Gameweek 27. From then on, I basically didn't look at my team. I missed a few Gameweek deadlines. I left my team as it is. My captains didn't change, and I slipped down to 161, which is still quite good for me. I was only 11 points off where I finished last season, but need to improve it. Another thing to take into account this season is that we haven't got one of the most god-awful things in all-out attack. We have got free hit, which is really interesting how it's going to be played by so many people.
Rejoice.
And I think where you can look, and I don't think there's anything wrong with looking at the best, because how else are you going to learn? You don't learn from the worst. Think, he's picked a 5 million defender from the shittest, the worst defensive team on there, and captained every week. Like when Aston Villa in the league, he captained Brad Guzan for the entire season. I should do that. Free hit's completely new. So there's no data to go on. It's going to be so interesting to see how people use it, when they use it. I'm just really intrigued to see what happens with it. There's a part of me that is sadly really excited. Let's move on. I have one more question, and I'll do the results of the giveaway, which I haven't done yet. I'm doing them live just to show they're authentic. So if you do want,
they're not authentic, I'm going to win. That's why I've joined the stream. That's what you promised me.
You haven't even commented.
Did I not?
Well, hold on a minute. I didn't agree to this, man.
I didn't comment because I thought it would look very suspect if you gave the prize to me. It would be a bit like, okay, we'd be on. Actually, we could have been on Drama Alert. We should have done this.
Oh, Drama Alert.
We didn't think about it. We could have got some exposure.
To be fair, I think the last giveaway I did, it took me 4 months to get the prize out, because I genuinely had forgot, and then I think I had 2 different prizes to give out. One of them I got straight away out. The other one person didn't respond after a week, so I gave it to another person, didn't respond, and then sort of a mix-up of communications, a load, finally got it out. I could use it as a scammer. Fortunately, nice people. Again with this one, I said the release of it would be in a video, not the Friday 2 days ago, but the Friday before that, so 9 days ago, and I'd forgotten again, which is really bad. But the last question we are going to go on to before I do get put on Drama Alert for exposing myself is Sergio Pretorius, who says, who are good captain picks for Game Week 1, and who are you guys thinking of putting the R-band on for Game Week 1? I'll let you start on that, JNO, because I haven't really got an answer yet.
Yeah, guess what?
Neither of you?
I don't really have an answer yet, because I've not thought that far ahead. Like, to be honest, I look at my team right now and I know that's not going to be the team I have just before the season kicks off, because I don't have all the pre-season data. I don't have all the transfers that have gone through. If I was to look at it right now, I generally don't like having a captain in the first game of the game week, purely because if it does go wrong, you just feel like a loser for the entire weekend. So I probably wouldn't pick someone from the Arsenal-Leicester game. Don't get me wrong, it could turn out that Lacazette goes and scores a hat-trick. But if he doesn't, then you know everyone else has a captain still to play, and you're sitting there with a captain that only got 4 points. Chelsea-Burnley, if Chelsea start looking good during pre-season, Burnley away, we all know Burnley are good at home and not so good away. That would be interesting. I just wouldn't know which player to pick. Yeah. Other than that, anything jumping out? Man City, Brighton. It could be one of those situations where the team that has just come up just gets destroyed by a Premier League team. But usually, teams that have just come up put up quite a fight right at the beginning of a season. So I probably wouldn't pick a City player. Man United, West Ham, potentially West Ham away, depending on if West Ham do any good business. In fact, if West Ham do any business, that might help. But if West Ham do some good business, maybe not. But Man United, first game week, Lukaku could be a shout. I've read that Mourinho's considering trying Lukaku and Rashford up front.
That would be bad. That would be bad for most teams they come up against.
Yeah. So I could imagine that working really well. and potentially Rashford being better value for money than Lukaku, which I would hope for, because that would make picking the rest of my team slightly easier. But yeah, I don't really know, to be fair. The only fixture that actually jumps out at me is Chelsea-Burnley.
Well, Burnley's away from last season. They got 6 points in the entire season, which goes to show, A, that was shocking, but B, how good their home form is, because they managed to get 40 points. So they got 34 at home, which is insane. I think that put them, I think if home records alone, I think they were approaching European football, I'm pretty sure. Away form, bottom of the table quite clearly. But yeah, I think it's you've pretty much summed that up. Chelsea looked the best. I think could get 3 or 4 goals. Hazard not aware. I think Pedro Willian could be good. Batshuayi if they haven't signed anyone. I just think it's the best looking game. And you say if West Ham do any business, Joe Hart has a medical on Monday. Could that save Man United? Could that save West Ham?
I think there's still a lot of work that needs to be done at West Ham. For Joe Hart will, in my opinion, and some West Ham fans have said, I think Adrian's just as good as Joe Hart. I do not agree at all. I think Joe Hart is an improvement on our goalkeeper. I still think we would need to either, 1, organise the defence better, or 2, buy in some defenders that can actually defend, because at times last season our defence looked absolute schoolboy, and we need a striker, and I don't understand why, when we found out Javier Hernandez had a 13 million release clause, we didn't just go, well, here's your 13 million, let's try and get this done as quickly as possible, because Chicharito has proven he can score in the Premier League, and then went to Germany and absolutely run riot for a bit. Why on earth wouldn't we sign him? And Arnautovic I'm worried about, because he's the type of player that can be really good for a period, but he does seem a bit lazy at times and can just have very quiet periods, and we need consistency. That's what we need at West Ham. But that's me as a West Ham fan suddenly going on a rant, so maybe don't ask me any more West Ham questions.
Anyway, on to our next comment. Good West Ham players. only joking. I'm terrible at jokes.
Lanzini, that's it.
Lanzini does look good. I have to admit, Lanzini does look good. Ogbonna potentially at 4.5. Don't know how we've got onto this. I like Antonio. I think he's quality. If Carroll stays fit, 6 million looks good. There we go. There we go. We went on to a comment that wasn't even there. I now, it's really dark in this room. Just realised how dark it's gone. I'm going to try my hardest and do this. Nope, wrong one. There we go. And hopefully you should be seeing a random generator. This is going to predict and get the winners. So if you haven't commented right now, I'm going to refresh the comments. If no one's commented, I think Michael AC89 was the last one, then that's what we are going with.
Wait 1 second. I'm commenting. No, I'm joking.
Off, just in time, 1 minute ago, Dara Smith. But we are doing it right now. I need to get the link for it, which is nicely
By the way,
prepared.
just for clarity, if I have commented, I forfeit my win. So do the random draw again. Just in case. I'm really worried that I have. And my name will pop
can't
up.
see your name anywhere, so it should be
Good.
Should be good. We are going to do 3 winners. I did the sort of video on it. The way we're going to do it is there's one £50, one £30, one £20, as said on the video. We'll do the £50.
Is that Zayn Muller there?
Yes.
Zayn, come on, mate. Let the subscribers get it.
We have a £50, £30, £20 to go, so 3 people are going to be winning. So hopefully it'll be one of you. I'm not quite sure what will happen, or if my stream will crash because I've gone onto the internet. If it does, I do apologise, but everything, I assure you, is done live. Let's just click go. Do I click go?
Man, I'm excited. I can't even win.
17 people could win. Potential to get £50 here. We are going to press start. I have never used this before because I only just prepared it a few minutes ago. We're going to press start. Feel the heartbeat. And the first winner is... This is really cool. Hopefully you can see it. Titus Gaming, who I believe was the first person to comment on it. So congratulations to you. I will give you a... Oh, how do I going to remember this? Thumbs up. I need something to write on. I need a pen. There we go. We have...
I'm not going to lie, I was so confused there because I'm clearly listening to you and then the stream's slightly behind. So I was like, about to say, it hasn't worked, mate. I can't see anything.
It's all a fix! It's a goddamn fix! Right, so I'll have to refresh the page every time. But Titas Gaming, congratulations. Hopefully no one else has commented. If you have, then I suppose you're only in for the lesser of the ones.
That's it, they were too late to the party. That's their fault.
Exactly. We'll just make sure we copy the right video. Paste it again. This is for £30. I should have written £50 right next to this one. I'll write 50. And this will be done via PayPal or anything that you know works, basically. PayPal was the original one. If PayPal can't work, we'll have to discuss an alternative. The second one...
Snail mail.
Snail mail. Send it by carrier pigeon. Just give it a few weeks for it to fly over to you. But the second winner of this giveaway, £30, coming up to you, good sir of Thomas McCarthy. OG Mr. Thomas McCarthy. I think he commented right there. I'm quite glad because he's been a supporter of the channel pretty much since day one. And one
Sorry,
day...
who is he?
So, yeah, who's Thomas McCarthy? Sorry. Payback, JNO.
See.
Payback.
The whole video, I've been like, I'm going to get him back somehow.
But let me write that down. Yeah, one day I will do a stream just looking back at my old videos because some of them... I've changed a lot. I've got a lot better.
I really want to do that, but the problem is everyone keeps saying, are you going to do Rate My Team again? And I'm like, oh, they clearly want FPL. They don't want to see old JNO. They just want FPL.
32.
But hearts in the chat for Thomas McCarthy. You supported both of us for a long time now. So hearts in the chat for Thomas McCarthy would be appreciated from me.
I feel like they're two good people. The first person to comment on the video and the first person to properly support my channel and stay subscribed and everything. I feel like I've done well here.
Oh dear, Dejan Seko, nice fix, Thomas.
I will actually scroll back up so I can refresh the chat. So I have gone right up to it.
Dejan, you can quote me on this. If you support me for 2 years, if I see you in 2 years' time in a stream, I may give you a £30 gift card.
Oh, there we go. Big
you watch 2 years from now, I'm going
statements.
to get some massive comments going.
Every video, where's my
Silly.
gift card? Where's my gift card? Where's my gift card? Multiple times. But finally, the third person. This is £20. We're £80 down. £20 to go. And before, just to quickly announce, I'll be doing exactly the same thing, a bit differently. That I'll be announcing in a video in a couple of days. It'll be an extra video because I don't like doing videos like that as my daily video. There'll be an extra one, like streams or an extra or whatever. But the third person to win, and if we get a person who's already won, we have to redo it again. I don't get an extra 20 quid just to clear that up. The third person to win, and £20 is coming your way, hopefully, is Seb Hodson, aka Colazzo Fajardo, who again has been around the channel for quite a long time. I'm quite happy with that. I commented just a week ago. Hopefully your Twitters are correct. If not, then make sure you comment your Twitter on that video so I can get to it. But well done you. I need to actually write that down. I keep on forgetting. 20 to Seb Hod. Is it Son or Sen? Son. There we go. One day I'll be a presenter. I just need to fix up my waffling. But if we go back on,
we both waffle. To be fair,
it's the perks of the YouTube game. It's the perks of the YouTube game. But just to clear up, ignore the top bit. That was when I was on Football Index. We have it written down right there. 50 for Titus Gaming, 30 for Tom McCarthy. Sorry for spelling it wrong. It was just quick. And 20 for Seb Hodson. And I think, to be honest, to round up an hour, we're on basically just an hour now. So I think we've finished off at quite a good time. And
Seb's just joined the stream as well. That's a great time to join the stream.
Logs onto the stream. £20 goes to Seb Hodson. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? How on earth that happens? But yeah, congratulations everyone. And in 11 months, that's 12 months time, we'll be doing this all over again. Maybe bigger prizes, maybe some sponsored prizes. Who knows? But I think we've covered everything. Any questions?
Did you have some announcements at all?
Oh shit! I've completely forgotten about that. I just looked at my title right now, and it says it. Yes.
Sorry, I just thought I'd remind you because you said it at the beginning. I thought, you know what? I better earn my money here. Actually, he's not paying me at all, but I better earn my reputation and just remind him.
Yeah, the huge announcement is, well, I say it should be tomorrow, but as FPL, the launch had proved, it could be any time. The draft is released tomorrow, and the big announcement, or there was a few, but they're being delayed. I decided they were delayed before the stream. This is the one that's being announced right now. I will be doing hopefully at some point, maybe over the weekend or whenever's good for a lot of people, a live streamed draft, depending on how it works, with a load of subscribers, getting as many people as you can in, if you like me or you don't like me, if you hate me or if you hate me. Basically, if you want to join in and get a chance to sort of, I don't know, do a draft, I suppose. I don't really know what it is. No one knows what it is at the moment, but I will be doing a draft with subscribers. That'll be hopefully live streamed one day, maybe 4 to 5 hours to get it done. Who knows? I'll be doing a draft with all of the people that have supported me to sort of say thank you. And as much as I'm giving away £100, I'm doing this as well. So yeah, be grateful, everyone. You sons of bitches. But yeah, we I think we leave it quite nicely there, and it's time for me to depart and the better streamer to continue where I've left off. I believe that's you.
I don't know, because if you want a stream that has a start and an end, then Kurt's probably better than me, because I start a stream, I say I'll be here for an hour, and then I just carry on. I don't know when to stop. And a couple of days ago, I was drunk on stream, so
I'm yet to watch that. I'm yet to catch up on that.
And if you watch all my streams, there's one where I say a very rude word on stream, and I'm surprised YouTube haven't struck me off for it. But that was because of a bit of hate, and then I went to explain to my wife what the hate was about and hadn't muted my microphone, so that went really well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oof, yeah. I remember seeing one that was 2 hours long. I think your first one was really satisfying for the eye. 3 hours, 15 minutes. Exactly, no seconds on it. Really satisfies me. Yeah, that sort of thing really entertains me. When I get a video that's bang on with seconds, 0 on seconds, mate, I'm like, excellent.
That was not on purpose at all. It really is. Jeez.
I know. It's every time I go on your channels, look at your videos, I think that's really satisfying.
Let's click on that one.
Yeah.
I might retitle it and go 3 hours, 15 minute stream exactly. Spot on. See if I can get more people like that.
But yeah, I think that covers about everything. So if we didn't get to your question, go and give it to JNO's stream. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Please go over to JNO's stream. In fact, I don't have the link for it, so I won't put it in. But I'm sure you'll find the link.
Link yet.
Oh, there is no link.
I mean, if Kurt is joining me as well, Kurt will be there, so you've still got questions for Kurt as well. We may take a 10-minute break in between. Don't expect my stream to just start as soon as you click off this one, but yeah,
start it, play some sick tunes, and when we get back we've got hundreds of questions.
Mate, I only play one tune now. It's kind of become pretty.
Is that
yeah, Legends?
Yeah, Legends.
Yeah.
I did notice that on one of your I can't remember what stream it was. I think it's just sort of Legends just continually started, and I thought, what is going on? What is going on?
Yes, that was the infamous stream where everything went wrong. But it's my most viewed one, so obviously I should just do stuff wrong. It works.
Exactly. I think that was
interested.
That was the stream where you sort of just went on your mic and said, "Pretend you don't see any of this, guys," and then went back up and thought, "Classic." But we'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Head over to JNO's stream. We will be there in hopefully a short amount of time, and I'll see you all in a few minutes, if not around and about on the FPL community. Thank you all for watching, and adios.